Doug MPA back with another video. Guys, this is going to be another video about single mothers. We're going all the way down to Australia. This article is called Thousands of Australian Single Mothers Show Their Cost of Living Pressures While Facing Poverty. So, what help is out there? And so, we all know that Canada and Australia are feminist, misandrous wastelands. And to all the Australian guys listening to this, I feel bad for you guys, man, because I've seen some of the policies down there that are just against men. And good luck down there, guys. I hope that you can figure it out. I hope that you stay strong. And like I said on all the rest of my videos about single mothers, guys, avoid single mothers at all costs. Don't sleep with them. Don't date them. Don't marry them. Do not play another man's safe game. Do not take care of another man's child. And this generation of single mothers are the most entitled women in the dating market. Let's get into this article. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It's just you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's get into it. It says, with rising expenses hitting households across Australia from all corners, this is December 4th of 2022. So like it's even worse now with inflation. Few are spared from the ongoing pressure, and single parents are especially feeling the pinch. After being divorced from her partner of 20 years, Mary had to learn how to navigate parenthood on her own while managing the household finances on a single income. If you looked at my life from the outside, you'll go, nice house, nice job, she said, having secured a small home on the outskirts of the city in her 50s. This is in Melbourne, I think. But But you know that analogy of the swan gliding across the water underneath its little legs are going a million miles an hour? That's me. It's just from the outside, looks like I've got it all together, but really I don't. It's just the mother of a teenage son. So she's in her 50s and has a teenage son? Is this from her? I think it is. According to ABS Census data released in June, the number of lone parent households has grown since the last survey conducted in 2016. Whoa, no, really? There are roughly 1 million people in Australia single-handedly supporting a dependent, and 4 out of 5 are women. Boom, there it is. 4 out of 5 single parents are single moms. About 300,000 single mothers, 1/3 of the single parent population, are living near or below the poverty line. These women are broke, guys. They're broke and looking for you to come in and save them. Don't do it. In the last 10 years, about 30% of single moms have lived in poverty, and we haven't switched the dial, she says. Melbourne Institute research estimates that the poverty line for a single parent with one child who is working sits at 791 Australian dollars a week. So let's do the math on that. 791.62 times 4. So that's $3,166 a month. According to this person who updates the figure regularly, the poverty line puts a spotlight on those groups in the community. However, in reality, even the middle class are barely holding on as the cost of living continues to fluctuate. Okay, so let's listen to Mary here. Mary earns as much as a typical Australian does on average, $63,000 a year, but supporting 2 people on roughly $1,050 a week after tax still feels like a stretch, even though the figure is about 30% above the poverty line. On top of increased daily expenses, she's also juggling monthly mortgage payments, which has risen multiple times. Mary had taken on a loan with a variable rate. Women in their financial decisions. So your rate increases based upon the market. After being assured by her broker that her payments would be manageable, so she just dove right in and bought a house like a lot of these women do. Didn't read the paperwork. Apparently she did read the paperwork and she signed it anyway. While she's thankful that her broker had factored in rate rises, the uncertainty still stresses her out, especially since the RBA has already announced rate rises 7 times within the year, and she still has 30 more years on her term. Those with mortgages are especially anxious. And while many grapple with the increased cost of mortgages, rent, utility, and food, the organization has also been hearing from people who had a change in circumstance. It says, everyone is stressed at the moment, but there is added stress when you are the person who is solely responsible for making sure there's enough money. Women are complaining about the circumstances that men have been doing for thousands of years. Men will be the sole provider of a household for 50 years, won't complain, and they'll do it in a job they hate, but they'll do it anyway. You don't know why? Because back in the day, a man that worked a stressful job, worked outside, you know, as long as he had a loving wife that cooked him food, kissed him on the head, gave him sex, and his kids ran up. He walked in the door, and his kids respected him. Daddy, Daddy, I love you. He would go to sleep, get up, and do it all over again for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Now women are facing the prospect of having to support a family for 50 years, and they're just freaking out. I'm stressed out. Yeah, well, welcome to a man's world. That's what happens when you choose to be a single mom or a baby mama. Okay. Tina came off a fixed interest rate on a mortgage in September, is now paying more than she can handle on a variable rate. Living in a body corporate property also means she must account for rates and levies. Tina, who has two children aged 9 and 11, splits parenting responsibilities with her ex-partner, but she has care of them 12 out of 14 nights. Even though she gets child support payments, she still feels the financial pressure from having enough to pay the bills. Tina says, my anxiety is through the roof. I get scared if I get sick or my kids get sick. If this was just for 1 year, I'd be okay because you could suck it up for 1 year, but this is like forever now, so that's changed. You know what? Why don't you go back to your ex? How about that? So she's living in a place she can't afford. Go back to your ex. Plenty of people did it during the pandemic. I would be interested to hear why they broke up. I guarantee you, she wasn't happy. I just didn't feel it anymore. So it says, okay, there are lots of different forces that come together in a sole parent family, and they're not very kind at the moment. Even child support payments don't always provide security, says Miss Edwards, pointing out that they cannot be paid or paid sporadically or partially. Yeah, because a lot of guys don't have the money. How about that? A lot of guys are just making average income and have to support their lives and give child support. And you know what? I don't have any kids. I don't feel bad for these guys. You guys, the most important decision you can make in your life is who you choose to have a child with, guys. And I hate to say it, but if a woman just walks out on you and takes the kids, a lot of times there were signs there. But guys, we are the romantic gender. We'll try to love a woman no matter what. We'll try to marry a woman no matter what. Women are the ones who set terms, and conditions, which is why I don't feel bad for them when they get knocked up by some idiot. He says, factoring this with the economic uncertainty drove Tina to take up multiple jobs at the height of her financial worry. I had 3 jobs for about 2 months. I was getting very anxious, irritable, and angry, so I gave away one of my jobs. She says she had wanted to expand her income to support her child's recreational activities. I did it with the expectation of earning more and being able to take my son to football or let my daughter travel, not with the expectation of interest rates going up as high as they did. I can cut back on the kids' activities, but I'd rather work harder because this is what shapes them. It is so important for their growth and lifelong skills. Yeah, but their parent being there for them in the home shapes them too. So who's watching them while you're working 2, 3 jobs? Are they alone? Are they by themselves? Do you drop them off at your mom's house? How's that going to shape them? And that happens a lot, guys. Women don't want to go back in lifestyle after divorce, so they end up picking up another job or working more hours, and then guess who's babysitting the kids? A family member on the visitation days of that the woman is supposed to be with a child, right? As people's budgets become tighter, we find that one of the first thing people cut is their insurance. And that's exactly what Chloe did. So let's hear about Chloe. As a business analyst, Chloe makes $98,000 a year before tax, but being the sole carer to 2 young children since birth makes all the difference. Her monthly repayments on her mortgage have gone up $700 since she locked in a loan on a variable rate in April, so she took drastic measures to stay on top. What's with all this variable rate stuff, man? What is that? To stay on top of payments. I've taken my car insurance from full comprehensive to third party and made sure that my home insurance is like at the base minimum. I'm not sure how I'm going to make payments because the loan was given to me based off my income, but it keeps rising and my income doesn't. She says, I feel privileged because I am on quite a high income, but my income equates to 2 low income parents. With mortgage payments now eating into half of her take home wage, she says there's no savings. I've got literally like no capacity to even save $2 a month. Her health needs have also taken a back seat. I can't get my diagnostic test done. I can't afford the nutritionist advice and the alternative therapies to try and get my condition under wraps. Being a single parent is not always easy, so it is important to keep on top of my health and have regular psychology visits, but I'm going to have to stop those now because I can't afford them. Sell your house. Move into an apartment, but women will not go back on lifestyle. And when they do, it's not on the major things because they have to tell all their girlfriends, oh, I have a house. I have a nice car. I have this. I have that. Sell it. You can't keep living like this because women's bodies are not, don't take stress as well as men's bodies. One thing is going to happen. She's going to get sick or she's going to have some kind of condition and the whole thing is going to fall apart. This Tia managed to bring up her annual income from $35,000 to $51,000 by taking on more jobs, but that meant losing access to healthcare benefits and the electricity rebate. I feel like we were punished. The ones working to give your kids the extra instead of sacrificing everything and just staying on the lower wage on the full Centrelink benefits. I guess that's like the poor benefits in Australia. So single mother advocate Ms. Edwards is calling for the earning threshold to be reviewed, seeing it as prohibitive for work. So I don't know if she's proposing that the poverty rate be raised up for single mothers. Maybe there's so much fear about losing an income support, and it could actually cost you money to participate in the workforce than what you receive. Tough. Too bad. Get back with your husband. Get back with your baby father. So we're gonna stop the article there, guys. I don't feel bad for these women at all. I just don't. You chose to have the child. You chose the person you had the child with. Like, parenting's hard. Stay married. No, get married, have children, stay married. Most men are good men. Why all these women are leaving, I have no idea. And if you choose to leave, you choose to deal with the consequences, even the harsh financial situation. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.